Dueling Dialogues presents His and Hers with Grace Matthews, Caddyman, and Connor Murphy.
Welcome to episode 27 of His and Hers with Grace Matthews and the Caddyman in the heart of the USA, Springfield, Missouri. Hi, you two.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, what's happening?
Not much, getting cooler as time goes on, although we can't complain. It's been kind of above freezing, so we're doing okay here.
We've been doing pretty good, too.
It was only 70 here today.
Yeah. It was beautiful here today. Beautiful.
Much nicer than here.
Yeah, so we certainly can't complain today.
Yeah.
But, there are a lot of days we can complain because we're doing what? We're getting older.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I feel it every day.
Yeah. And, getting older is tough. But we have our thought for the week, which is youth is the gift of nature. Age is a work of art. I really love that because, especially as a woman, I'm constantly questioning what part of aging is good and should you embrace it? And what part is bad and should you try to change it? Okay, I like to think that the wrinkles, the lines that start coming on are a work of art. Right. Unfortunately, I don't think society thinks that. No.
You know what? I look at people I graduated with and I'm pretty lucky because some of them look like they could be my dad, So
yeah.
Pretty ugly. But when I compare what I look like now to with some of the women that I grew up with, things like that, they aged like fine wine, whereas I aged more like cheese.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, I mean, it is unique. Each person ages very uniquely. And, there are lots of options. It's like, even for men, do you let your hair go gray? Do you keep coloring it or maybe never colored it? Do you get plastic surgery or not? Or do you just learn to be like, the old lady that spits on the sidewalk?
Yeah, you just don't give a shit after a while, right?
But you sort of
do.
I sort of do want to be the lady that spits on the sidewalk, but I wouldn't look good doing it.
Right. I still don't go to Walmart in my PJs.
Oh my gosh, me neither.
Good.
Yeah. But a lot of people do go to Walmart in their PJs.
Yes. It's bizarre.
I had a Walmart visual about 7 years ago, on a Sunday. That was
it traumatized you. He still refers back, but I hate to tell you this, but that was 14 years ago.
Okay, 14 years ago. I called
it. You're talking about when we were at Mom and Dad's?
Yeah, I called it episode.
That was 14 years ago.
I couldn't hang on.
Actually, Dad's been gone longer than that.
I saw it and I still couldn't believe it. I couldn't even explain it. It was just so horrific.
Yeah, I mean, but you do. And there comes a certain time. I'm 58. And there, you sort of get up, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you go, "Wow, no matter what I do, no matter how much weight I lose, no matter what, I'm not going to get back that look I had at 30, or 25." And you have that realization, and then there are other things, like aches and pains.
Oh yeah. Oh, I can tell you a lot about that. And I'm pretty lucky with that
because I've always done yoga. I don't have too much of that, but a lot of people do. A lot of my friends really have the aches and pains.
Right.
Arthur sets in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Arthur?
Yes.
Arthritis?
Yes.
Do you have that?
Yeah. I've got something called cervical spondylosis, which is essentially arthritis of the neck, where the narrowing of the passage that your nerves go through causes pressure on your nerves. So my hands go numb. So yoga wouldn't even be possible at this point.
Wow.
So
yeah. So that's
That's the one thing that, as you do get older, exercising does help a lot, but even if you don't, you move one to get up the morning and you go, oh, where did that come from? I don't remember doing anything to do that. But working out of any kind is great. Yoga is the stretching. I think stretching those tendons and ligaments is just an amazing part of, at least, I don't think you can stop it, but you can maybe slow it down.
Right. And aging does not have to be declining health. It really doesn't.
Right. Well, I do sort of do yoga because I do Kamara Sutra.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of weird positions I need to get in to get that shot, as a photographer.
And that would qualify.
Yeah, and to kind of reinforce what Caddyman said there about getting up one morning and yeah, it's like some mornings it's like I didn't even know I had a muscle there.
Well, it's kind of your recoup time is longer, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Whereas you used to do something and you might be sore, when you got up, but by 10 o'clock you're okay. You might be sore after doing something for 2 or 3 days, maybe?
Yeah.
Or more?
If it's very strenuous or you're using muscles you haven't used in a long, long time, it can be a couple of days.
Well, I like I said, I have done yoga since right after my youngest son was born, which, oh my gosh, he's now 24. So I don't have a lot of pain. I have a little bit, like my calves will get tight or something and I'll be complaining and the caddy man will be going, what? Your calves hurt? Boo-hoo. But, yoga does help. I will say that if you can do yoga, do yoga. It helps. It really does. And a lot of things that help yoga, I misspoke. That help the aging process.
Right.
Also helps this healing process. We've talked about mental health matters.
Absolutely.
And what helps, that is the same darn things that help with the aging process. Just for example, memory loss is not inevitable. Just keep using your brain. We do brain games, and there's lots of different training material out there, especially on the internet. You don't have to pay somebody. You don't have to pay for it. If you are a member of AARP, I will tell you they have some absolutely fabulous brain games.
Okay.
That work on a lot of different skills. But if you keep using your brain, it's just like any other muscle.
Right.
Okay, it will not deteriorate as quickly. The other thing is, can you learn new things when you get old?
I think it's harder.
It might be harder.
You have a lot more habits.
But it's also more rewarding.
Yeah.
I believe because you think you get to a point that, oh, I can't do that, or I'm too old to do that. But if you try it and then you do it, it's very, very rewarding, and you can say, gosh, maybe I've still got it.
I mean, Caddyman's been trying to learn a lot of stuff. He's been learning to cook.
Yep.
He's been learning yoga, dance. I mean, he has been learning a lot of new things.
Good.
Some of it is part of his therapy. Some of it is because we're just trying to figure out how to be older and still be active.
Right, and it's hard now with things locked down too to be creative.
Yes.
But
makes it hard.
You guys have a solution. You
Yeah.
know, between YouTube and moving the coffee table.
Exactly. That's exactly what we do. And just like when you're healing, and you might be 30 and be suffering from grief or depression or OCD, and they tell you to focus on things that you're grateful for. That also helps in the aging process. Be grateful instead of thinking about all the things you don't have,
Right.
or all the things that are bad. Be grateful.
It's certainly going to stop the wrinkles on the worry lines of the forehead, that's for sure. Cheer up.
Exactly. Cheer up and don't bury feelings. Okay, because when you bury feelings, you get more lines on your face. So
Okay.
express and acknowledge those feelings. Those think lines in between your eyebrows, they get really deep if you don't express your feelings.
Yeah.
And then they try to sell you Botox or Bellafill or something, and you don't want to mess with that. So try not to create great big think lines, right?
Exactly.
And look for the silver lining. You talk about this a lot, Connor.
Yeah. There's always a positive side to everything.
If it does kill you, maybe it'll make you stronger, right?
Yeah, and sometimes you don't know the positive for years, but, as experience happens, it's a natural thing. You look back on something that happened that, really negatively to you years ago, and you can definitely see that there was a positive side to it happening. But being up close to your own life and living your life in the moment, you're not going to see all the positives. So take a step back and have a ponder at what your life is.
Exactly. Step back, look at the forest, because if you're inside the forest looking at the trees, you can't see the forest.
Exactly.
So, and take on challenges. It helps you to deal with anxiety and other emotions. Don't be afraid to take on some challenges. Don't do things that are only easy.
Right.
And I think as we get older, sometimes, we think, oh, well, maybe I would like to have that Fitbit, but oh my gosh, could I program that thing? Will I be able to make it work once I buy it? Take on the challenge. So, find a hobby or pick up an old one, because you need to keep busy.
There are lots of hobbies you can do that you can get some activity out of without killing yourself.
Right. I mean, if you don't like a hammer and nails, don't start making birdhouses. But yet, if you like to tinker, we've just been talking about this with the Cattleman. He loves to fix little things. I said, so start making jewelry.
Yeah, there you go.
Or fixing jewelry or something. I mean, he really is not the hammer and nail guy. I'm more the hammer and nail guy.
Yeah. That's
And he likes doing those little tedious things that make me crazy.
Right.
So think about who you are and what you are. Don't try to be what you think somebody else needs you to be or wants you to be, or be yourself, and do what you're good at, because we're not all good at everything.
Well, I think by the time you reach our age, you're just not interested in doing stuff you don't want to do.
Exactly.
But finding something new is always kind of refreshing. YouTube, again, I find really cool, because you never know what you're going to come across and click on.
Absolutely.
That'll be your next new hobby or interest.
right.
Exactly. And learn something new.
There you go.
That's kind of like what we're talking about. If you want to learn a foreign language or an instrument, I mean, you got YouTube. I mean, you can even get something for your keyboard and learn to play the piano or the keyboard.
Right.
I mean, your computer keyboard can turn into a keyboard.
Right.
Or you can buy one pretty inexpensively and learn to play. And that uses different parts of your brain.
Yeah.
Music uses that same part of your brain that mathematics do. And so by learning to play an instrument, you're possibly helping your mathematical skills stay fresh.
Right. There's websites like Skillshare that are really cool for that. If you want to learn a new skill, you go there, you pay a monthly fee, and you basically get tutorials from professionals in, whatever your interest is.
I haven't been there. I need to do that. Maybe we could put that in the text, because that's a great tip. Get involved in your community. I mean, right now that's a little hard. Okay, but it's a good idea to go work at the soup kitchen or go help with some of the places where people have disabilities. We need to do that more. People are constantly trying to get a hold of me about doing workshops for kids with reading and writing issues, and when this pandemic's over, I'm just going to say yes. I mean, before I have been, I'm just too busy, and that's wrong. I should not be too busy to help somebody learn to read or write.
Right.
So travel, again, that's a great thing to do if you have the money and the time. But, people are virtually traveling now. A friend of mine sent me this video of a virtual tour of Jerusalem.
Oh, wow.
Yesterday.
Cool.
And it was like, are you kidding me? This is very cool. So, look into some virtual travel. Spend time with nature. That's one thing that we're still not cut off of here in the Ozarks. You can take your dog to the park, go for a walk, go to the lake. Just don't get around other people and start breathing.
Right.
So that's something you can do. The arts, we really enjoy the arts when we can. We like arts, cheap art, expensive art. It really doesn't matter. We like the theater a lot. We love musicals. You can download some musicals on YouTube. You just got to look really hard because some of them are previews.
I see.
But if you're missing the musicals, also our little theater here in Springfield is going to start having the shows where you can hook up on your TV.
Oh, cool.
So you're going to send them a little money, and they're going to give you a code. And so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, that would be very good.
Start writing your memoirs. Your kids will want to know.
Right.
And who knows? Maybe it'll be great enough that you can publish it.
Exactly.
Into a book. Make sure you see people regularly. If you live alone and you don't live with somebody like many people do, make sure you connect with your friends and family during this pandemic. This is just huge. Make sure you make new friends. Make sure you spend time with one person every day, even if it's on Zoom, FaceTime, Skype. Interact with another human being at least once a day. And I think in this pandemic, we are seeing all sorts of issues with people being alone and lonely. Loneliness and aloneness is very, it can be deadly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Try to, one of the best ways to boost your activity and, make your life, increase your longevity, is to exercise and eat right.
You bet.
And get plenty of sleep. I mean, those three things cure a lot of ills.
Yeah,
both physically, mentally, and they help tamp down that aging process.
And everybody thinks that it takes that you've got to do it for hours.
Yeah, no.
You don't. A quick.
Those are obsessed people.
Yeah, you can do a good workout in 20 minutes you can always upgrade as you feel better, because as you feel better, you're going to want to do more. But don't start out thinking you've got to work out for 4 hours.
Right.
Exactly. And just make something a variation of what you do, okay? If you already exercise, add a new exercise.
Right.
Do it a new way. If you do cook something new.
Right.
Try a new recipe. It doesn't have to be some major earth-shattering thing. But what we'd like to challenge everyone to do is to try something new every day. If it's a little meditation, if it's okay, you have a sandwich every day, so today you're going to have a salad for lunch, do something new and different every day.
Perfect.
And do those memory games, honestly. I can't say it enough. You can find them for free online. You can find a lot of things on YouTube. It doesn't cost a lot of money.
Right. And if you forget to, you're in deep trouble.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, if you
That's
can't
right.
remember to do them, you're maybe miss the boat.
Yeah.
And remember, don't try to be young again. Just try to age well. Do it well. Now, for a little bit of fun, because as you know, we love yoga. We found this article, the Caddy Man and I did, on Thought Catalog. It's 11 things you only know if you do yoga. And this right here will make you want to do yoga, I promise. Number 1, poop. Your poop is so good. In fact, your poop is so good and so regulated that you can do number 2, schedule your poop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
You look at your yoga buddies like a life force. In fact, secretly, you call them your life force.
Yeah.
Workout clothes become hot, and especially the other people in them. You start enjoying sweat.
Yeah, instead of just a cut-off T-shirt.
Exactly. And sex. Sex is great because you can get in all these positions.
There you go.
I mean, even if you don't really do it, you can just get in the positions naked and say, look what I can do.
Yeah.
And your definition of sexy changes because you start looking at it from a yoga point of view, which means sweat and poses, right?
Yes.
You become a hashtag yoga wonker, and you're proud of it.
That's right.
Everything goes back to yoga. Okay? It's like a Valley Girl. Remember the Valley Girls?
Yeah.
Okay, you sweat from places you never knew were possible, and that's true. Today, we did a really mean yoga workout, and I mean, I was sweating, and it's December.
Yes, and I'm a non-sweater, and I wasn't perspiring, I was sweating, and I'm a non-sweater, yeah. Just adding just a little bit more, it's amazing.
Yeah, we upped 5 seconds, and we were sweating place on each pose,
Wow.
We upped holding it for 5 more seconds today, and we did quite a few poses, but we were sweating. Okay, number 9, you live to fall on your face.
That's right.
Okay, and I don't want us to
Because you got to get down in those positions,
Exactly.
And I do still fall down a little bit. So.
Yeah. Number 10, I've got to censor this, but yours in is F.
Okay.
Okay? I have to, or we'll get, you want to get certified. I mean, you're starting to love it so much, you want to be certified. You want to be everybody's yoga coach, their life coach. You want to...
Yeah. You
go.
You get into it so much, you said, I can teach this to anyone. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Well, yeah, and you're like, you think it cures everything, too. You're like, somebody goes, well, I got this, I got this ache or pain. You go, well, if you did yoga, you wouldn't have it.
That's right.
Which isn't necessarily true, but you are just
believe it.
yoga brainwashed, and it's not such a bad thing. In fact, in the days of the pandemic, it's pretty awesome.
You become the vegans of the fitness world.
That's right, and we appreciate this article from thoughtcatalog.com because it's awesome, and I keep referring back to it.
Right on.
And yeah. So.
Good stuff. Well, you two take care, and we'll see you next week. Do you know what we have coming up next week yet, or can you give us a hint?
I'm kind of hoping that we have a guest.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
So that would be good, but whatever we have, you'll want to be here.
Yeah, for sure.
For
You guys
sure.
take care. Have a good week.
Till
Godspeed.
use it.
And move that coffee table.
Yeah, time flies, so use it. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening,
See ya.
everyone.
Bye
Bye-bye.
now.